Jai Hind all of you. I am Dr. Rahul Bansal from Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So this one is the next video lecture for the electronic devices KC 301. So let us start. So in the previous video lecture, we have discussed that how we form the extrinsic semiconductor from the intrinsic semiconductor, right? So group 4 element are belonging to the pure semiconductor. They are also called as the intrinsic semiconductor. Okay, if we dope the fourth group element with the fifth group element, so they form the n-type semiconductors. Okay, if we dope the fourth group element with the third group element, they form the p-type semiconductors. Okay, so depending on the energy band diagram also, we can define the different type of the semiconductors. Okay, so if we see, so this one is our conduction band and this one is our valence band, right? And this is the lower energy band, which is like completely feed band, right? So we will take the case of this for the insulators, semiconductors and conductors, right? So this diagram, which consists of like conduction band, this valence band, in accordance with the relative energy, it is called as the energy band diagram, right? So through this energy band diagram, we can define the energy level of any of the electrons, right? So if we take the case of insulators, as we have discussed in the previous video lectures also, this energy gap, the gap between the conduction band and the valence band, it is more than 5 electron volt. So this gap is also called as forbidden energy gap. So this is greater than 5 electron volt. So what we can like say in this electron from the valence band cannot move from this valence band towards the conduction band. Or in other ways, what we can say that this electron will not have the energy, right, at any temperature through which it can excite it towards the conduction band. Therefore, the conductivity will be equal to 0 in case of insulators, right? Next, if I talk about the semiconductors, for the case of semiconductors, if we see, this one is our conduction band, this one is our valence band. There is one small energy gap is there, right? So this is equivalent to like it is denoted by Eg, forbidden energy gap. Okay, so it is approximately equal to 1 electron volt. So why I am saying this 1 electron volt? If we take the case of pure semiconductors, right? So for the case of like silicon, its value is 1.21 electron volt. For the case of at the 0 degree Kelvin, and for the case of silicon, its value will be equal to 1.1 electron volt at room temperature, right? So these are the two values for the case of silicon, right? If we compare this energy gap for the case of germanium, its value is actually 0.78 electron volt at 0 degree Kelvin, and its value is equal to 0.72 electron volt at 300 degree Kelvin, or you can say room temperature, right? So what we can postulate from this, we can say that if we increase the temperature from 0 degree Kelvin towards the room temperature, then this energy gap will be, it will become lower, right? So it will become lesser. This Eg value, forbidden energy gap, will be lesser if we increase the temperature from 0 degree Kelvin towards the room temperature. So this is inversely proportional, or you can say its value will be inversely proportional to the temperature, right? So mathematically, if you see this Eg at any temperature T, it is equal to Eg naught minus beta T. Okay, where this Eg naught is actually equal to 1.2 mol for the case of silicon, and its value is equal to 0.0757278 in case of germanium. Its value is actually defined, right? So we have the value of Eg naught, and beta value is the material constant. Its value is 2.2 into 10 to the minus 4 for the case of like silicon, right? And 3.6 into 10 to the minus 4 in case of germanium. So its value is previously defined. Now at any temperature we can calculate the value of Eg, that is forbidden energy gap, we can compute, right? Next, if we take the case of metals, or you can say conductors. In case of conductors, this energy gap is 0, or you can say this conduction band and this valence band will overlap to each other, as you can see from this diagram, right? So that the electron do not require the energy, extra energy, to move from this valence band to the conduction band, because they are overlapping to each other, right? So that's why what we can say that in conductors, this conduction band and valence band, they are overlapping to each other, right? That's why they don't require the extra energy so that the electron can be moved from this valence band to the conduction band, or the electron can gain the energy. We don't require any extra this energy for this, right? So this is for the case of metals, or you can say conductors. And the number of free electron will be approximately equal to 10 to the power 28 per meter cube, which is a huge amount, right? So these are responsible for carrying this electricity, right? Next, we have already discussed in the previous section also. Now I am just revising this because next we are now differentiate between the extrinsic and the intrinsic semiconductor, right? So this fourth group element, they are dedicated to the pure semiconductor, right? So this fourth group element is dedicated towards the pure semiconductor, and if we add this fourth group element with the fifth group element, the impurity which is added is called as the pentavalent impurity, right? And the semiconductor which is formed is called as the n-type semiconductor, right? Now if we add the fourth group element with the third group element, right? Like if we add this germanium to Al, the semiconductor which is formed is called as the p-type semiconductor, and the impurity which is added is called as the trivalent impurity, right? So this pure form of semiconductor is called as the intrinsic semiconductors, right? And if we add the impurity, and the semiconductor which is formed is called as the extrinsic semiconductor, right? So this is basically the classification of this semiconductor. First is the intrinsic semiconductor, which is the having the pure form. Okay, examples are like germanium and silicon. Now the point which is to be noticed is number of electron is equal to number of holes in case of intrinsic semiconductors, right? And they are equal to intrinsic ion concentration. You can say intrinsic concentration, right? So this is the case of pure form of semiconductor, that is silicon and germanium. Now if I talk about when this pure form of semiconductor is added with the impurity, that is this fourth group element are added with the fifth group element or third group element, the semiconductor which is formed is called as extrinsic semiconductor, right? And if we add the fourth group element with the fifth group element, then this type of semiconductor is called as n-type semiconductor, and the impurity which is added is it is called as the pentavalent impurity, right? So pentavalent impurity examples are this phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, etc., right? Next is this p-type semiconductor. In case of p-type semiconductor, if we add the pure semiconductor with the third group element, so third group element are called as a trivalent impurity, right? So for example, this gallium, boron, indium, aluminium, right? So through this way we can get the extrinsic semiconductor, right? The advantage is that the conductivity will increase as the number of charge carriers will be increased when we doped the pure semiconductor with some impurity, right? So if you see the pure semiconductor, that is silicon, right? So it consists of 4 valence electron, as you can see. So these are the 4 valence electron which will be making the covalent bond with the other atoms, or you can say other molecules, right? So this 4 electron at the 0 degree Kelvin, they are bonded with the covalent bond with the other atoms, right? And if we increase the temperature from the 0 degree Kelvin towards the room temperature, a number of covalent bond will be broken, so that it will create the number of free charge carriers and they will contribute toward the conductivity. Okay, as you can see from this diagram, this is like the silicon atom, it is bonded with the other atoms, right, with the covalent bond, right? So this is in case of in the absence of electric field. So they are like tightly bond together with the covalent bond in the absence of electric field, so they cannot be moved, right? But if we give the electric field in this case in the form of like voltage, if you apply the voltage source, then what will happen is a number of covalent bond will be broken. Correspondingly, it will create the equal number of positive and this holes and the electrons, so that the conductivity will increase due to the increase in the number of charge carriers, and they will be aligned together, right? Due to this alignment, they will contribute to the conductivity in the presence of electric field. So this is for the case of second case, that is in the presence of electric field. Now in terms of the energy band diagram, if we see, we have discussed for the case of the temperature at 0 degree Kelvin and the room temperature, how they are dependent. So we will see this in terms of the energy band diagram also. So if we take the case of electron energy, okay, at the 0 degree Kelvin, all the electron will be there at the valence band, as you can see. So this red color band is called as the valence band. You can just write here valence band. Okay, and this higher energy level band is called as the conduction band. Let me use the rubber. Okay, so this is called as the conduction band. Now at the temperature 0 degree Kelvin, all the electron, free electron will be bonded together through the covalent bond in case of semiconductors, right? So the energy will be very less, total energy will be very less. So no electron will be moving from this valence band towards the conduction band. There will be no movement. Why? Because the energy is very low and no electron and all the electrons are bonded with the covalent bond, so that each and every electron will be moving, will not be moving from this valence band towards the conduction band. Okay, so to increase the energy, what we have to do is we have to increase the temperature from the 0 degree Kelvin towards the room temperature. So if we increase the temperature from the 0 degree Kelvin towards the room temperature, equal number of electron and the holes are created due to the broken of covalent bond, right? So due to this covalent bond breaking, what it is actually happened is equal number of charge carriers, that is electron and the holes, are created, right? So what it will do is electron will be moving from this valence band towards the conduction band. If you see from this diagram, this green color dots shows the electrons actually, and this white dots denotes the absence of the electrons. So this, if I consider this electrons are moving from this valence band towards the conduction band, then it will create some vacancy. This place will be vacant, right? So due to this vacancy, what will happen is this vacant term is called as a hole, right? So whenever this electron is moving from this valence band towards the conduction band, a hole will be created. Okay, so this white dot denotes the holes, right? Now these electron, when they move from the valence band towards the conduction band, they will contribute towards the conductivity, right? So in the intrinsic semiconductor, as you can see, so this is for the case of like silicon and or germanium, intrinsic form of semiconductor. So a very less number of charge carriers are there, a very less number, right? So the conductivity will be less in case of intrinsic semiconductor. So to increase the conductivity of this intrinsic semiconductor, what we have to do is we have to add some impurity. Okay, the process of adding the impurity to the pure semiconductor is called as the doping, right? So after doping, if we take the case of n-type semiconductor, as we have like discussed, that when we add the pure semiconductor with the fifth group element, okay, so the semiconductor which is formed is called as the n-type semiconductor. Okay, so the fifth group element will have the 5 electron in their outmost shell, and fourth group element, which is the pure semiconductor, it is having the 4 electron in their outmost shell. right? So all the 4 electron will be bonded with the 4 electron from the 5th group, right? 4th group 4 electron will be bonded together with the 5th group 4 electron, and 1 electron will be vacant, 1 electron will be freed. Okay, for the each atom 1 electron will be available for the conductivity. This is the basic fundamental of this n-type semiconductor, or you can say this extrinsic semiconductor, right? So 1 electron will be responsible for the conductivity in case of n-type semiconductor, right? So this electron, it is depends on the doping concentration. So if we increase the doping concentration, right, if we increase the doping concentration, what will happen is this number of free electron will be large, so that the conductivity will increase. Similarly, take the second case, when this pure semiconductor is added with the 3rd group element. Okay, so all the 3 electron from the 3rd group element will be bonded with the 3 electron from the pure semiconductor, right? But there will be 1 vacancy of electron. Okay, so this term is called as the hole. Okay, so in case of p-type semiconductor, this hole will be moving, or you can say this hole will be the majority charge carriers, right? So it will contribute toward the conductivity in case of p-type semiconductor. Now, there is a difference between the intrinsic semiconductor and the extrinsic semiconductor. Okay, so intrinsic semiconductor, as we have like already discussed, that they are the pure form of the semiconductor. Okay, and in case of extrinsic semiconductor, they are impure form of semiconductor, right? Density of electron in case of intrinsic semiconductor is equal to density of holes, as we have like already discussed, right? Because equal number of covalent bond will be broken, so that the equal number of electron in the hole will be there. Now in case of extrinsic semiconductor, density of electron is not equal to the density of holes, right? Also, the electrical conductivity is low in case of the intrinsic semiconductor as compared to the extrinsic semiconductor, in which we have the high conductivity in case of extrinsic semiconductor. Now, intrinsic semiconductor, they are highly dependent on the temperature. We will discuss in the next chapter also that how they are like dependent on the temperature. Now, in case of extrinsic semiconductor, it is dependent on temperature as well as the amount of the impurity which is added. If at all impurity is high, then definitely the conductivity will high, right? If the impurity is less, then definitely this conductivity will be less. Now, in case of intrinsic semiconductor, no impurity is added, but in case of like extrinsic semiconductor, either trivalent impurity or pentavalent impurity will be added, right? So this is all for this lecture. I hope you enjoy this session. Thank you, all of you.